Where are we going now? Whiskey has gone through a huge boom of late, and it has meant that a lot of distilleries no longer have aged stock they can put out. So they're putting out fewer and fewer bottles that have age statements on them. And this is no exception. This is the Macallan, and it's just called the Classic Cut. There is no age statement on it. It's aged in sherry casks. It is a 2017 edition of it. It's a sherry oak Jerez from Jerez, Spain. Jerez. Jerez. Or Z as we'd say in Canada. 58.4%. And that's kind of all you get. They're hand-picked oak casks.
So if they're not putting out the age statement, that's because it's probably younger than most people would expect, right? And then it's just like they don't want people to have a bias of like us, you know, what is this, like 6 years, 5 years or something, even though those could be delightful whiskeys, right?
Yeah. There's a marketplace bias that people think. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying how lovely that was. Not to have an age bias. That's all.
Wow. You know?
Yeah. That would be a nice world to live in if we all were just, you know.
It's very poignant living in LA. Very poignant.
It is. Too poignant. We'll circle back.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Scotland now.
Yeah. No, I'm old and irrelevant, so I feel it.
Yeah.
All right, so there we go. The Macallan.
Right.
Oh, boy. This is a deeper and richer
Oh, my
nose.
God.
Oh, I'm so excited.
This reminds me of some fancy French dessert. Like, what are those really fancy ones that's like a bunch of like pastry, like puff pastry balls with like a spun sugar over the top of it? It has some crazy name. Like,
I don't know, but that
like
sounds
a
awesome.
croquant, or like it's some sort of like big, tall, like it's kind of like, I feel like it's like the craziest French pastry dessert in the world. Like this is, you know, if you like, you know,
Wow.
it reminds me of like the, you know, Louis XIV and stuff. Anyway, that's what this reminds me of. It really has this just super delicate, to me, like, yeah, this house is going to be, I'm going to say this is like a fancy French chateau, like, or
I love that.
You know,
There
a place where
elegance.
Yeah. This is where Louis XIV goes to, like, when he's not in the palace. It's like his summer home sort of a thing, or
So not quite a palace, but a really fancy French summer home.
Mm-hmm.
a really fancy French summer home. And there's still fountains and, like, you know, like probably a hedge maze and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
yeah.
someone's just set out a groaning board of pastries on the veranda as Louis comes out with his perfumed cape.
Speaking of perfume,
Uh-huh.
this does smell perfumey.
Yeah, there's some floral elements to it, I get.
Like you would wear it. You would wear this. I mean,
Yeah, you could wear this as a perfume.
You
Wow, that's interesting. You totally could.
I don't know who I'm wearing it for, but
ourselves.
myself. I'll
at
walk
this point.
around later today. Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
We don't wear makeup and perfume for other people. We do it for ourselves.
Amen. That's right. That's right. You can replace your maps with a French map just for the moment.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Alcohol burn, but also just like a delicious sweetness.
Oh, you
And
know what? This is
savory
interesting.
finish.
It does feel sweeter than I thought it was going to be. Or it tastes sweeter than I thought. It just just subtly.
Mm-hmm.
That
the
is
sweetness goes away in the finish for me, and you get this kind
wow.
of savory kind of oregano almost. I don't know.
Oregano.
Yeah, there's a spice at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
That is a long finish too, and that is very bold. Like there's definitely a lot of alcohol in there.
Oh yeah, I mean I definitely feel it. I still feel it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yummy. I'm gonna say this one's pretty
Really
yum.
good. It is pretty yum.
I was hoping you were going to say was
I
your
give
favorite
it.
so
I
far.
give it 4 yums up.
Oh God.
There we go. Getting real classy. Getting real classy. And you got the yum rating.
This is my favorite one so far.
Yeah, this is my favorite one so far too.
Thank you both.
Is this your favorite?
This is my favorite
Andrew?
so far. Yeah.
No,
Andrew does
you
a great
tasted all
job of-
these, right?
I have in the past, yeah. But I didn't taste them before selecting them here. I just kind of go through my tasting notes and kind of, because you said you like the sweeter bourbons more than smoky whiskeys. So I tried to find the stuff that I rated as sweet when I first tasted these things.
Well, you did a terrific job. I mean,
wait until you taste the last one, because I could have really dropped the ball.
Okay. Well, if you did, we're still.
He hasn't so far. That has not happened at any point. His planning of these journeys is something that I give to him 100%, because they always go well.
I mean, there's so many great people making whiskeys. It's really hard to go wrong when they've got so many excellent products, and you can just go, oh, that, and it just works out. Because everyone's happy by the end. You can't not be happy.
True. I think that's totally right. And someday, so I'm most likely canceling my Scottish trip this summer, which is, how it goes, and, privilege problems. But at some point before I reschedule, Andrew, you're going to have to, lay out.
Yep. We can talk about this. And I just want to let you know that, British Airways called me and about a week and a half ago and canceled my trip, which was going to be next Thursday. So I am very disappointed.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I know it's so tough.
It is so present for me right now. I keep looking at the calendar, and the flight is on my calendar, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. Oh,
I'm so sorry, Andrew. Well, man, maybe we will align the next time. Were you going for an event or just for fun?
Just for fun. We go on tours. We self-plan our tours. We take about 6 or 7 people from work, and we do Airbnbs. So if you get 6 or 7 people renting a house, it becomes quite cheap, and we share a vehicle, designated drivers all the time. Scotland has a 0 tolerance policy. So you get little sample bottles. This is why I know how to send you guys sample bottles. You get sample bottles, so the designated driver gets to do it. And then later that night, once we're back at the house, they're like, it's a delightful trip. And the thing that struck me most about it is just how good the food was. I had been to Leeds, which is northern England, in the 80s, I think. And the food was bad. It was really bad. And I was like a 20-year-old idiot at the time, so I didn't know any better. But I knew at least the food was bad. And going to Scotland now, the food, fantastic. I think the internet has been so good, where people are just learning that you can get local ingredients, fresh stuff, and put them together in this way. And just like, oh my gosh.
Scotland's going through like a food renaissance right now. Like I feel like every time, when I've been there, it's like the food has just been amazing. That then there's also like Ash was telling me, and it's true, if you get hamburgers there, they're so much better because of the problems they've had with mad cow and stuff. They have very strict rules about this beef has to be super organic, and
and they're grass fed over there. This is the big problem with meat in the US, and why I became a vegetarian is just they feed them corn, and that's not what they're supposed to eat, and they get sick, and so they jam them full of antibodies, and it's nothing in this process is good for the cow or good for meat.
Or good for the environment. We just don't we don't do it very well.
So
I was a vegetarian for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
So,
recently.
So you're a quitter.
It was a while ago. No, I am a quitter. I also quit smoking. So, sometimes it works out for you.
There you go. You know what? I think that really works itself out.
Yeah, this is delightful. I really like this. It's so good. You know what? I'll go ahead and science it, since I feel like it's got such it's so bold.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this might go in a good direction. I feel like
I
really like
caramel in the nose. It's
ooh,
caramel.
But neither of you have to do this for sure. So
after you do it, and if it's good, we'll do it.
Yeah,
fair enough. Really, it makes the nose very delicate. Not as bold though. I mean. Not bad.
But a delicate hedge maze could be okay.
I like this.
Yeah. I mean, I would recommend it. Really takes away the fire.
Okay.
It becomes more of just a very it's it's the house when Louis XIV isn't there. And it's just like, you know, the servants are still making food, and it's not as elegant as they would make for Louis the 14th, but it doesn't matter because it's like, it's not like, he's here freaking with his sun kingness. This is like, you know.
So if I hear you right, this tastes like freedom.
It tastes.
Like is Louis gone because his head is rolling?
It's more delicate. It's with the water. I think it's more delicate. And I think that's a good thing because it's like I liked it before, but it's like it was a little too much. And this is like, hey, just enjoy it. Take your time.
Yeah, I like it. I like it with water. It doesn't change the flavor to me very much. I think it just changes the intensity.
Yeah.
The nose is not quite as sweet, I find.
Yeah. It's definitely more savory too. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I think I prefer it slightly more without the water, but this is still good. This is a good experience.
I would agree with you. Like I like the boldness of it before. Like it's, you know, this is nice. But that, you know, when you take that sip and it's like, it grabs you by the lapels and it's like, this is what you're going to experience. This is the flavor you got. This is more like, yeah, what do you think? You like it? I like it. What do you think? Right.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that this would still very satisfying.
So, Lori, what's your go-to bourbon or whiskey in general?
Y'all, I'm real simple folk, so I often just drink Jack Daniels. That's normally what I drink when I drink whiskey.
Baby. Mm-hmm.
And but you guys, I think, are really, really getting me interested in more. I feel like my world is opening, guys. Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm surprised about is that Kelly Lohman hasn't got you trying some of this other stuff, because she's got a lot of interesting stuff.
She's a connoisseur. I really do. I need to lean in. There was a time in my life where I had a lot of fun drinking whiskey, and I just overdid it for a while. And it was just like so it was just like, someone convinced me to do, like, I can't even tell you the number of pickleback shots that involved whiskey and pickle juice. Have you ever?
No, you need to explain that.
Pickleback.
Pickleback. Have you
is
guys
it as good as Nickelback is?
About, yeah.
Oh, sure.
So it's really upsetting. So I love pickles and I love whiskey. So this seems to be like, it could be a great combo, but it is so bad. So you take a shot of pickle juice, you take a shot of whiskey, and then you just repeat that as many times as, you know, you can stand. And it, it'll turn you off of the idea of whiskey for so long because you equate it with just pickle juice.
I take a pickle shot. I take a whiskey shot. I take a pickle shot. I take a whiskey shot.
Yeah.
Is this a Southern thing? Is this, I've never heard of this.
When I moved to LA, this was a friend that got me, like, she was just so happy about pickleback shots. She loved them so much. So no, it's not even a Southern thing. We can't even blame it on the Southern.
When I was in college, we invented a little thing like that we called it the salty chip. You know, like a salty dog, where you take like a shot of tequila and then you like lick the salt and the lime.
Oh yeah.
But then you also after that you would eat a chip with salsa on it after the entire. We called it a salty chip.
Well, that sounds like a great experience.
It actually was quite good. I mean, although I did end up having one of the worst hangovers of my life. I don't think because of this specific drink. It was because I was in college and I overdid it. But
yeah, I think all those stories are because of
And then I know in when we at Dad's garage, I remember a party there we had apple pie shooters. Those were really good. Have you ever had apple pie shooters?
No, but that sounds like I would want one.
You lean back and someone pours what is it? It's like apple juice and I want to say cinnamon schnapps. Or cinnamon vodka maybe it's just apple juice and vodka. They pour those into your mouth. And then they put whipped cream and a dash of cinnamon. And then you close your mouth and you go and shake it up in your mouth, and it's really good.
And then it comes spewing out.
Yeah, exactly.
It does not. It goes delightfully down your throat. It's delicious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
I mean, one day post quarantine.
I don't have a lot of drinking game or drinking mixed drinks like that experience. I think I was just a boy in Alberta, and we went and drank beer all the time. That's all we did.
A Boy in Alberta sounds like a lovely short story.
I think it sounds like an interesting movie, like A Boy in Alberta.
Yeah,
It's a story of an awkward youth who just wanted acceptance. Yeah.
I adore that. I absolutely adore that.
I'm not happy I put water in that. It was so much better without the water. So that's my note. No
That's
water.
fair.
Lesson
That's
learned.
fair. It's subjective. Yeah, I mean, I liked it with the water, but I liked it better without the water. So I think we all agree.
We're all in agreement. Yeah.
Mhm.
Best before water.